Hello kids! We have a great message for you today, so thanks for joining us. Today our message is called, It's a New Season. But before we start, join us in worship and then I'll see you later.
Spinning. You made the ocean and everything in it, and you made the sky so blue, and you made every other color too. You made the sun, you keep it shining. You put the moon up in the midnight sky, and everything around me created by you only. I just wanna thank you, 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful. You made my feet, you made my hands, you made me sing and you make me dance, 'cause your love is all around me, and your love is so astounding. I just wanna thank you, 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful. Here we go, break it down now. Everything you created with your imagination is wonderful and good, wonderful and good. You're my inspiration beyond all explanation. You're wonderful and good, you're wonderful and good. Everything you created with your imagination is wonderful and good, wonderful and good. You're my inspiration beyond all explanation. You're wonderful and good, you're wonderful and good. I just wanna thank you, 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful. I just wanna thank you, 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful.
Are you familiar with different types of seasons that we have here in Canada? And no, I don't mean the season that you put in your food. I mean the 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, and fall. I always joke that the GTA has 5 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall, and construction. Because every year, construction is the longest season. It happens all the time. But anyways, my favorite season is spring. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, my allergies aren't acting up because plants and trees are only just starting to grow back. It's just so beautiful and peaceful. Spring, what not to love? But if you're like me, then I already know what season that you hate the most. Winter. Gosh, it's the worst. The cold, the ice, the snow, you have to travel 5 times a day, and worst of all, the ridiculous blizzards that only come the days when you have something great planned. They never seem to come on an exam day or when you have a presentation in class. I'm always frustrated and a little sad when fall ends because I know that all the nice temperatures are gone, the flowers and trees are wilting, and we're getting ready to change seasons. Now, it can be pretty difficult for people to adjust to a new season because it requires a lot of preparation. Whenever winter comes rolling around, you probably notice that your parents have to change their tires to winter tires because the summer tires can't stand Canadian snow. Also, your wardrobe changes. Gone are all the nice summery clothes, and in comes the turtlenecks, long johns, winter coats, and boots. I always feel bad for the people who are unprepared for a new season. Like, for example, sometimes I have friends that take these big family vacations right at the end of November, and since they've been prepping for the trip, they've made no preparations for the new season that they'll be coming into once they come back home. So they leave the country in all their nice summer clothes, and they come back to a blizzard. Then they have to put more effort into getting prepared for a season that has already begun. But do you know that life also has seasons? In this case, I don't mean weather. I mean seasons in terms of a time that's characterized by a particular circumstance or a feature. For example, if you're going into middle school this year, you can look at the past couple of years in elementary school as a past season. If you've just turned 13, that means you're entering teenage years, which is also considered a new season. Just like the 4 seasons of the year, our own life cycle has seasons. But we run into difficulties when we're not prepared to leave one season and enter into the next one. God created us, and because we are His creation, He knew that we would go through different seasons in our lives. But He also knew that we would not be too happy about that because generally, people don't like change. We like things to stay the way they are because it's familiar to us. When we are familiar with something, we know what to expect. And when we know what to expect, we don't have to have feelings like fear or worry because we're comfortable. This is the exact reason why I like spring so much, because I know that during spring, I'm most likely need a light jacket. I should always carry an umbrella with me because it might rain, and the days that are longer, so I can stay outside longer. But when the season changes, I have to adjust and make changes. For winter, I have to go buy new winter coats and boots. I have to repeatedly check the weather because I never know when a storm might be coming. I've got to make sure I have my strong gloves so my hands don't freeze, and because of all these changes, I miss the old seasons where everything was more simple and relaxed. I didn't have to worry about when the next storm was coming. Unfortunately, this is not how life goes. Sometimes unexpected situations get thrown our way, giving us no time to prepare. In my case, when I was in high school, I found myself on an operating table having a surgery for a lump that was found in my body. I was petrified and completely shocked. I had no idea how to prepare for surgery, and I was scared about what would happen after the surgery was done. Would I recover properly? Would I need another surgery? Would there be complications? This is not a season I expected, but it was full of situations that we did not see coming. That's life. And God tells us that straight up in Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1 to 8, which reads, "There's a time for everything, a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to uproot, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to tear down, a time to build, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to scatter stones, a time to gather them, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search, a time to give up, time to keep, time to throw away, time to tear, and time to mend. Time to be silent, time to speak, time to love and time to hate, time for war and time for peace." This verse gives us many examples of seasons we'll face in life. Times of birth, death, weeping and joy, peace, conflict, and more. The Bible shows us that experiencing good and bad times in our lives is normal and to be expected. Now, of course, it's much easier to be joyful in happy situations, but we shouldn't allow changing circumstances to cause our faith to falter. Now, what do I mean? Well, it's easy to prepare for the 4 seasons. You know what to expect. But let's say you're leaving middle school to high school, where you no longer know anyone there. Or the people you consider to be your best friends for life, all of a sudden stop being your friends. Or what about when you experience your first breakup? How do you prepare for the changes in your life that you weren't expecting, and that you don't like? Sometimes when this happens, our faith can be shattered. We're in an uncomfortable season and we don't like change. So the first thing that we do is blame God for letting it happen to us. Then we stop trusting Him because we convince ourselves that He isn't on our side. When I found out that I needed surgery, that's exactly what I did. I felt that God had let me down, and I was all alone. But I quickly realized that pushing God out of the situation because we lack faith is the worst thing you can do. Going through a difficult situation is hard enough. Going through it without God, impossible. I know that having God with me is what kept me strong through that difficult time. When we face situations that we don't like, we have to remember that God is with us in every season of our life. So when we face the unknown, when we feel like we can't trust anybody, He's right there for us. Every good and perfect thing comes from God, which is why in those difficult situations, God is always there to help you. But when we realize that God is always on our side, it makes going through those difficult seasons a lot better. We know that we're not going through it alone. John 16:33 says, "I have told you these things, so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world." In other words, you're going to face some difficult times in life. But don't worry, because God will always have your back. You may experience some challenging situations, but God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And that means He is the one thing that is constant in every new season you face. If He gave you strength to go through middle school, then He'll give you even more strength to go through high school. If He gave you peace when you felt like everywhere around you there was chaos, the next time you're in a situation where you feel like you have no control, He'll give you the same peace. Just remember that your seasons change, but God stays the same. So join me as I pray. Lord, I thank You that You have told us the truth, and You let us know that in life we're going to have difficulties. But I thank You that You said You'd never leave us nor forsake us, and that we should take heart because we've overcome the world. You are with us in every single season that we go through. So help us to trust You and have faith in You and know that You are by our side, and that means we can accomplish anything that's going our way. So we love You and we thank You. In Your name we pray, amen. Wow, that was a great message. I'm so glad that you came and joined us today. I had so much fun with you guys, and hopefully you had fun with me too. I'll see you again next week Sunday. Enjoy your week.